Working Mom Village. This is Carrie.
I'm Anna.
I'm Lauren.
And we want to talk to you about some health issues that you may need to be aware of. You might be aware of them already, but it's always good to have a conversation at least and have some knowledge, especially from people who've gone through a couple of the procedures you're going to go through at specific ages.
Okay, so we have a pretty wide age range here. So I'm 50.
I'm 30.
I'm 40 something.
So we're going to go over the different things that you're doing at those particular ages. So at 50, you get to have your first colonoscopy and drink a whole entire gallon of stuff that makes you go to the bathroom incessantly so that they can stick a camera up your nether regions and look for things that shouldn't be there. What do they do at 30?
I mean, at 30, maybe you develop like a physical issue. Maybe you decided that you're trying to be healthy and you're working out and then you have a problem. So that's what I've been going through, and so I'm going to talk about physical therapy.
And at 40, and it depends on your doctor.
Sure.
I am with the VA. So
Yeah.
45 is when you're supposed to have your first mammogram. However, they found a lump. So I got to have a mammogram earlier than 45.
There you go. Also, we are not medical professionals, so please, this is just our anecdotal kind of information to kind of let you know what you might expect. If you're experiencing any issues, definitely talk to your healthcare provider. We are not experts.
Please like and subscribe. You will get updates on any new videos that we put up, and we're going to cover a range of topics, everything from what to do in your kitchen to your health to, hey, wouldn't it be nice to look really posh on pennies? So a little bit of everything and how to be a village. Please come along and be part of ours.
Okay, definitely.
All right, so I just turned 50 in July, and as part of that, your doctors begin to inform you of new invasive tests that will be done, up to and including a colonoscopy. So I'm here to tell you about colonoscopies. I heard a lot of horror stories about this process, and for me, it was not that bad whatsoever. So I am not one of the horror stories, and with my health issues, I have a lot of them, I'm usually the horror story. This was relatively easy. So they give you this big, huge gallon jug and some horribly flavored, it basically tastes like a sports drink, and whatever it's got in it, you will begin to uncontrollably run to the bathroom until you are completely cleaned out. Make this process easier on yourself by following the directions. They tell you stop eating certain things about 2 days before you get to this. So small seeds, I love anything with sesames, none of that. I love a whole lot of nuts and, crunchy veggies, and yeah, it was like white bread, and just eat the white bread and enjoy it and stay away from everything. Nuts, small seeds, no raspberries, nothing like that. But you don't want to do alcohol, you don't want to do caffeine because those will show up. You don't want to do anything with food coloring because it changes the color of your lower intestines, and then they can't find the things that they need to. And then they give you this in a suppository, and you will be cleaned out if you simply follow the instructions. Mine, we put a halfway mark because you had to drink half the night before and the next half the morning of. They said a lot about how it was going to be completely god-awful unless you kept it nearly frozen and drank it through a straw. I drank it from the jug and it was lukewarm. If you have drank a lot of sports drinks in your life, it's nothing. It's just badly tasted Gatorade. What I would suggest is have your own little station set up in the bathroom. So we had a station set up in the bathroom with this, with a small cup that I could pour it into if I didn't want to lug it straight from the gallon jug. I watched Netflix. Do, please God, have wet wipes there. It's sort of like you're setting up for a small baby because you want something to put on your butt in between, and you want wipes, and you don't want to just continually abrade yourself with toilet paper. It wasn't as bad as everyone had said. I really was able to sleep through the night. When I woke up the next morning, I was hungry. Too bad. You get some more salty, fruit-flavored Gatorade. It wasn't that bad. And then the drugs that they gave me, that was the best sleep I've had in years. So I went to sleep. You have to have a friend with you or they will not let you do this. So you have to have someone drive you there and drive you home. They do warn you that after you come out of the procedure, the drugs they give you, you're gonna feel like, dude, I could drive home. You do. You think you're going to do stuff. You come home, you're like, yeah, I'm going to do stuff after my nap. That's a very long nap. It's great sleep. Just roll with it. You're not going to do a thing. Do not attempt to do anything. Oh, and mine came out. I had 3 things that they had to take off. None of them were cancerous. It was all clear.
And do you know how often you need to get them after this? Did they talk to you about that at all?
Since they did find some polyps, they want me to have it done in 3 years.
3 years?
So when I went to the doctor this last little bit, they found a lump during a breast exam. And so I am covered by the VA. I'm not a disabled veteran, just a veteran, so I do have to pay a little bit as I go. And they did find a lump, and so before 45, I had to have a mammogram. Now, I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I in for? I can't do this again. It was really not that bad.
That's good.
Yeah, they did not have to do nearly as much squishing, other than just being very intimately handled by another woman. It really was not that bad. I did have to go in. The doctor found something, he thought it was artifact, which is nothing, but he wanted to make sure, so I had to go into a second machine, which is a much smaller little squishy part. And that one, she told me ahead of time, she goes, this is the one that's going to hurt a little bit. Let me know when it starts hurting. So she didn't have to get me to a certain thing. She just had to get me to where I was uncomfortable. And then took a quick picture. They looked at it and it was all clear. So I'm fine. The lump was nothing. I think the lady at the VA was just being overcautious. So I would rather they err it on the side of caution than to guess. And so everything's all clear.
So basically, if you find a lump, stop freaking out, get in there, get it checked out.
Yeah.
Breast cancer is one of the most survivable cancers if you get to it early. So
Definitely.
And definitely do not be embarrassed. They are very professional. They don't make you feel weird. You're really mostly covered all the time except for just the one part that they're looking at right then. Nobody's weird about it. You're the only one that's weird about it.
Yeah, so mine is not nearly as dramatic necessarily as these two, but it was still kind of my journey. So I had a bunch of things happen. Started a new job where I was sitting a lot, started a new workout routine, and started having issues with my hip. So I started out with an issue with the hip, and then it turned into an issue with my low back, and it's been an issue for like 3 months. So I finally got into PT, went to my doctor. She diagnosed me with like SI joint issues, and then they referred me to a PT. I had my last appointment, was last week, my first appointment, and it was crazy easy, and I don't want to be like, there's a magical like bullet out there, but like I really am already feeling so much better. I can feel the pain is gone. I have my energy back. I'm able to move around a lot easier. I'm not exhausted by the end of the day because I've been trying to like fight and find a way to be comfortable and stuff like that. So 3 exercises that he gave me to do that I'm supposed to do for 2 weeks, and then I'll go back, and then hopefully if everything is back in the right position, then I can just do core strengthening and be like good to go. So very, very easy. Definitely would recommend that if you're having problems. And this, it's called a pelvic upslip is what it's called. This is really, really common in people who sit a lot, and you can have had like back pain for years and years and have this issue, and then do these physical like exercises, and like it fixes it, which is, like I said, I don't want to be like there's a magic bullet, but I mean, so if you've been out there struggling with low back pain, it's definitely something to talk to your provider about. I think people are kind of cautious about doing that because they don't want to seem like I just want drugs. Like, I get that. I definitely think that going the physical therapy route was what I said that I wanted to do from the get-go with my doctor, and that I wanted to fix the problem, not just mask the pain, you know? So I think that makes a difference too. But if you have a provider who's doing that, then you need to find a second opinion. I don't think there's anything wrong with finding a second opinion. So yeah, if you've been having low back pain, definitely get into your provider, talk to them about the problem so you can get referred to physical therapy, and then make sure that you're following their directions, because again, it's not going to work unless you do the work. Okay? And don't be afraid to like kind of put yourself out there and do something different, because again, physical therapy, I've never done that before, and I had these like kind of nightmarish, like, what are they going to have me do? And it was so easy. It's literally like laying down, moving your hips back and forth, and then like laying on the side of the bed and letting your leg dangle off the bed. So those 2 things, and then laying with a chair with your like legs together to get your like pelvis to just relax, which he recommended for women who have had children or older women and stuff like that, to help just strengthen your pelvic floor in general. And so I sit there on my phone watching YouTube videos like, oh, it's just such a harrowing journey that I have to deal with. So again, it's probably not as bad as you think it's going to be. I think that's the theme here. So it's probably not as bad as you think it's going to be. You can handle it. build your village so that you have the support system to handle it if it is something more serious, for sure. And just take care of yourself. It's really important.
It is. Not just for you, but for your entire family.
Definitely, yes.
Because we're moms, so when we're doing stuff, we're doing it so not just for ourselves, but for those kiddos who depend on us.
Exactly. Let us know down in the comment section what you're doing this year to be more healthy, or what you have going on. Maybe what your experience was about having colonoscopy, or going through physical therapy, or a mammogram. If you feel comfortable, don't feel obligated. Thanks so much for watching. We hope that you found some comfort and maybe found this kind of interesting to see all of our different experiences with these different medical procedures. Again, please talk to your healthcare provider if you're having any issues. Like and subscribe. Let us know down below if you enjoyed the video. Share with someone if you think it might be interesting for them. And make sure that you get out there and find your village.